the fellowship program is very, very critical in terms of solidifying the experiences of the fellows.
When you come to the Media Challenge initiative, first of all, they give you the practicability of the course itself. They give you the true definition of a journalist. Who is this journalist? So with that in mind, I would love to thank the Media Challenge because of first of all, the skills, the connections, through the mentorship programs that we go through, the connections that we get. And yes, the Media Challenge has also given us the real feel of a journalist. The equipment, everything, like you feel like you are a one-army journalist at the Media Challenge.
I've managed to come to my notes that my thinking way back in my university and other years was kind of different to what I've attained in the 2 days, because I was thinking that dealing with data is something difficult. You cannot manage it since it's more into math. So as a person, I wasn't a fan of math per se, but in these 2 days I've come to know that there are tools someone can use and get the data he or she wants in the right way, in the right order, and in the very simplest way.
Reading data, understanding data, getting a story out of data, getting a pitch out of data is a skill that all the journalists lack. So when you give these skills to a student who is about to graduate, this student will walk confidently into a newsroom and pitch a story from numbers.
Colors were significant, but what stood out? What stood out? Let's hear from AMON, then Ruto.
So far what we've studied, I've really got a lot because I've known different skills that I didn't know, and one of them is to use the data wrapper and finding ways on how you can get different sources of statistics in different, maybe the ministries, UBOS, that's Uganda Bureau of Statistics, and each sector or each ministry, there's at least where you can go and get these statistics whereby you can interpret them in a data visualized way, or that means there are graphs and different things that I can't finish right now, but what you have to know is I've learned different things, the stages you go through to collect the data and to pitch the data and up to the final end whereby a consumer can be able to read it or even watch it and then can understand what the story is all about.
Now more than ever, especially for young journalists and with lockdown in Uganda and journalists having to tell stories in a new way, moving out of the old into the new. Traditionally would have stories in newspapers, would go out in person to look for stories, but now after the lockdown or during the lockdown, people had to look for stories in a new way, in a digital way, and find a way of telling that story digitally. So for young journalists, I think it's very critical, almost pivotal, that they learn these skills at an early age and they're able to drive that change that we want to see and move from traditional journalism to digital journalism, where they're able to express stories online and share those stories online to have even a larger readership. I think it's very important that they get these skills now so that they can drive the country into this new almost phase of journalism that we want to see.
We have been telling stories based on narratives that lack what would be looked at as evidence, yeah? And I know that having well visualized data into a story makes it more credible. So this is why I found this week as important as it is.
So the Media Challenge Fellowship Program is supposed to mold a one-man or one-woman army journalist. And we know that these are the top students coming from the universities. We want to send them out into the media industry when they have the skills that they really need to succeed in the media today. And today, everything is about data. Like, data is being collected about so many different aspects of our lives, and it can be used to show trends over time. It can be used to hold the governments accountable. It can be used to fact check, like if somebody says something publicly and then you find in the data that the data is showing something else, it can be used, you know, in that aspect of accountability for journalism.